Let's do a little demo of the FarmFresh web app. As we said before, the FarmFresh web app starts with the Farmers app. So here's the login screen. Now for most of you, you will continue with Facebook. You'll click on that button and it will automatically use your Facebook login information to get you in there. That way you don't have to remember a special username and password. But because I already have an account that's set up and there are some things that I want to show you that only work when there's a new account being created, I'm going to click on this little button down here at the bottom that says click here. So the first thing we see is a little sign-up form that is basically to create an account for FarmFresh Web. And so I'm going to start with a username or an email address that I know doesn't already exist in the FarmFresh Web system. So we're going to type farmfreshweb.com, and then we'll say that our market name is FarmFresh Web, and the contact name is me. That's still me. And be sure to put in a phone number because we do want to be able to reach you. That'll be important to follow up on your questions. We hit next, and then it wants to know our website. I'm going to leave that blank for the heck of it, but that's a useful thing if you have a website to put in. Facebook page, this would automatically be filled in if you have used the login with Facebook option. Instagram, Twitter account, we're going to leave all those blank now. And currently we have a list of farmers markets, but these are only the ones that are in the Asheville area, and there's one for Charlotte. If you are from outside of Asheville, North Carolina, or Charlotte, North Carolina, then just go ahead and pick other and put in the name of a farmer's market. If you belong to multiple farmers markets, don't worry about that. That's fine. Just put in one. Okay, so now we want to log in, and we're going to put in that username that we created, which is our email. Again, I strongly suggest you use the Facebook login if you have a Facebook account, because that will just make everything much easier. You'll be able to enter with one click. You'll be able to forget about worrying about remembering a username and password. You can just use the Facebook login, and that will make everything super easy. The first thing you see is a collection of suggestions. These are messages that show up when you first create an account. You'll see this is where you put messages you want to send to your customers, and then what we call an initial greeting message. Initial greeting messages are the messages that the customer sees when they first log in, when they first download the app and then log into the app, and the weekly repeating message. So if we click on this, you'll see it automatically chooses initial greeting message. Or if we click on this, you'll see it automatically selects weekly repeating message. Right? The creation of messages with all of these messages is basically the same. Once your account is set up, you'll pick an enterprise name, which is the name of your farm or your vendor, your company. Then you type a message, pick a date associated with when you want that message to appear. Now, when you select these dates, what's going to happen is that message will appear during the selected dates, and then it will disappear. If instead you want the message to always be on, you can click on this always on. Now remember, you can always go back to the messages that you created and edit them and delete them. So even when you choose always on, it doesn't mean it's always on. It means that it's on until you delete it. You can also take a picture or choose a file from your phone if you already have one, and then you hit save. Okay? And that's the basic message creating process. Now the next thing to show you is our calendar reminders. You remember we said that we have calendar reminders for shoppers, for customers, but we also have reminders for farmers, because if you're going to put information in here that might get out of date, you want to review that every week just to make sure that it's not out of date. So you see the thing that says, can we remind you? And if you hit yes, it says, terrific, when do you want to be reminded? You pick a day and time. Because we don't know exactly when you're going to want to keep your data up to date, we do start the message, but then you have to pick the date and time. Like, so let's say, for example, you want to be reminded on Wednesdays. Maybe you want to be reminded at a specific time. We'll say that you want to be reminded at 12 noon. And by the way, the screens are going to be different depending on what kind of phone you've got. There we go, 12:15. So from 12 to 12:15, you see it says every week. Now again, your calendar may be a little different. We are set up to work on all of the standard calendars, but not every calendar obviously has the same layout. And then you just hit save. And by the way, this is the same process that your customer is going to go through to be reminded of the farmer's market. The one difference is for the farmer's market, they'll be reminded based on the market that they particularly pick out. All right, now to show you the other functions of the app, we really need to log out and log back in. So now we're going to hit login with Facebook, and you can see how much easier it is to just log in with Facebook, right? So here are the messages that have already been created for this account. So see this weekly repeating message. I designed this so it would work for a Saturday market, but you know, depending on what markets you participate in, you could have it for a different thing. It says Happy Thursday. Don't forget the winter's market is coming up this Saturday from 8 to 12, etc. And then you can update the message. You can also obviously delete the message. And then this is the initial greeting message. And this one has an offer. We have a whole series of information that we've got that we've created for offers. But this is just enough to show you what's here. In addition to the message manager, you've got the ability to update products, to create new products, to get reports on the orders. If you do list with us, you can get a report of what those orders are. And because we have a reservation system, if people don't pick up things, we also want to create a no-show report. So let's just look at what the, let's say the new products would look like. Here you put in your product. Let's say it's carrots, and give it a description. Delicious winter carrots just for fun. Select the units. We're going to sell these by weight. So a pound of carrots, and we'll put in a few. We've got 50 pounds on hand. We're going to charge, let's say $1 a pound. Pick a category. You can see we have a collection of different categories. These are just to help people search. We choose vegetables, obviously. If we want to, we can choose a file or take a picture of our carrots, and then we hit Save Product. Order reports are pretty simple. Before a market shows up, you want to see who's ordered what so you can pack. There are two different kinds of order reports, by customer detail and by product detail. Now let's say you want to create a new message on the FarmFresh web app. You press the Create New Message button, and you can see over here it shows the type of message. As we've said before, event, deal, coupon, and recipe, those are the types of messages that we have available today. We'll be adding other types of messages like the push notification and the market messages when they become available. If we want to create a coupon, that's a special kind of message. And the reason it's special is because it has a redeem button that allows you to limit the use of the coupon to one time. So basically the customer comes by, says, hey, I got this coupon. Let's say it's for 20% off. Well, you don't want to sell everything you've got for 20% off. And so what you do is, here, I'm going to finish typing this. You say, well, it's good from now until maybe it's just to cover the Saturday, and you hit save. Got to have a longer message than that. 20% off on carrots. And you hit save. Okay? Or we can create another kind of new message, which is the recipe message. Recipe messages are different from other messages because they start to help you with the formatting. So let's say we're going to do a recipe for sauteed carrots. You can see that the recipe name's already in here. This one maybe serves 4 people, 5 calories. And then this is the key part. When you start typing in the ingredients and you hit the enter key, it automatically adds the number 2. And so we could have salt and butter, etc. Adding those things, spelling is helpful. And then preparation, the same kind of thing where it will continue to increment the number. Then the same kind of thing, you can set the time. Obviously, if you're doing things that are seasonal, you want to set it for as long as the season might run. So maybe you start in February and we're still harvesting carrots until, let's say, the middle of April, and that's enough, and then we hit save message and we're done. All right.